Welcome, Uncle Sugar's Magic Circus. So today, I have a very special guest with us. His name is Oscar Contreras, and
That's
he is
me.
a gunnery sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, getting ready to retire,
That's right.
and we call him Bones.
That's right.
Do you want to tell us why they call you Bones?
Well, I mean, it's not that cool.
I know.
You would think it is.
It's not.
Give us the
Now, I wish it was. I
give us
could
the
tell
10
you.
the 10-cent version.
Basically, guys in the our community or whatnot, the whole last name and my last name being Contreras. I don't know what it was, but dudes felt the need to say it very properly and roll their R's and be Contreras. So you got a bunch of white dudes and they're just butchering this thing, Contreras and all this other stuff. So instead, one of the guys like, hey man, we're just gonna call you C-Man, and if you say it fast enough, it sounds like semen, right? And I'm like, that's not gonna work. I don't want to be called semen. It's just weird. So he's like, yeah, you know what? We'll just we'll call you C-Bones. And I'm like, okay, that'll work a little bit. And for some reason, the C just fell off, and
It became Bones.
It became Bones and literally stuck.
Well, it fits, man.
Yeah,
It fits well.
thank you.
So today we're going to talk about stuff that had to do with the MEU. And the MEU is like the Marine Expeditionary Unit, and the Marine Expeditionary Unit is a forward deployed force in readiness. Tons of Marines on ships, ready to go at a moment's notice, and hilariousness ensues. Usually. I mean, when you put that many people in that small a space and you cramp them in,
Yeah,
that
what could
long,
possibly go wrong?
There's sickness, there's disease, there's all kinds of weirdness.
Bored Marines, which is the worst.
Yeah,
Exactly.
board Marines. So I figured I'd tell you a quick story. Like I remember the last MEU I was on. I was actually a captain and then later a major.
Yeah.
As the MEU S2. But I just remember this one story is the guys down in the battalion had gotten caught playing Spirit World. Have you guys ever heard of Spirit World?
No.
No.
So what they would do in their boredom, in their tight, cramped spaces called the berthing area, was they were choking each other out
Oh my
to the
God.
point where the dude would pass out completely, like he was gone. Right? And then he'd wake up, and then they'd interrogate him on what he saw while he was in the Spirit World. That
Oh
was the
my
game.
God.
They were just literally almost killing each other, playing chokeout games. Isn't that crazy?
The stupidity.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, I really not.
Bored Marines do the oddest things.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
So what can you think of, Bones? Any examples of weirdness while you were on the boat?
Oh my goodness. Constant weirdness.
Yeah.
And first of all, the Navy is just basically our big Uber.
Yeah.
I want to be real with it. We need to get somewhere. Our big tactical Uber takes us where we need to go, and then we get there, do what we have to do, and the Uber takes us.
And they're not happy about doing it, by the way.
They're not. I mean, could you imagine, right? This is where these Navy people live, literally live,
Yeah.
even when they're, in port and work. And now you're just going to invite, 1,500, jarheads into your home to eat, sleep,
Literally.
poop, and be bored all day
Yeah.
long, And
Yeah.
Something's going to get broken.
Well, not only jarheads. So when you go over and you're working in another country, a lot of times they'll bring foreign nationals aboard as well, right? So I remember another time when I was in Tunisia, we brought a bunch of dudes on board from the Tunisian army who were working with them, and some of their Marine. I don't know if they had a Marine Corps. It's really like their naval sea service. I don't know what the hell they were. These guys had never seen an American toilet before.
Oh my God.
So
yeah.
this is true, man. They thought, and I'm not bashing on the Tunisians in any way. This was a cultural weirdness thing that happened.
Yeah.
They thought they were foot washers. So they were in there cleaning their feet in the toilets and shitting in the showers. Because the showers looked a lot
Yeah.
more like their shitters did.
And
So, yeah, big cleanup after that.
My brother was on a Unitas float,
Yeah.
and they go down south, all through South American countries. Same issue. Brought some of these guys on board, and they were pooping in the urinals. They didn't know.
In the urinals.
In the urinals.
How awkward.
How weird is
How
that?
physically awkward to try and put your butt in the urinal.
If you think about it and you look at a urinal, it could fit your butt on there, and
Yes.
it makes some sense, I guess.
At some level, yeah. But
Well, you were going to talk about poop. It's, one of the stories I have is we literally had a phantom shitter.
Every float.
Every float.
I don't know what it is, but the funny thing was, it was like goat shit. It was like, what human is shitting those little pellets, right? So we were like, dude, the goat shitter shit again. And when you're on the ship and everyone's sharing these 8 to 10, whatever, how many shower stalls you have in there, and
It's close. It's tight on the ship for sure.
Yeah.
you go in there and be like, dude, if you had an opportunity, if one was open, you go in there, but there was always one that was open. And why was it open? Because somebody had shit in there.
Yeah.
And it was after like field day, so it wasn't gonna get cleaned up unless somebody went in there or got told to do it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I know our phantom shitter, they intentionally would not shit in the toilet. It would be on the seat. It would be on the back of the toilet. It would be on the floor, but not in the toilet.
No. This dude would shit
And leave it.
in the shower.
Oh, in the shower.
In the shower.
Oh.
So he would shit in the shower, and that's why I was like, why is this dude doing this? And again, like, these are little goat pellet shits. Like, this ain't a
Weird.
human shit. And then, sure enough,
Somewhere on TV land, this guy's laughing his ass off right now.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes in and we're on poop for quite a while. Keith, you got any phantom shitter stories?
Funny thing to talk about, because this rolls in. You guys crossed the line?
yeah,
Which one?
the equator,
The equator?
golden
I'm
shellback,
not.
baby.
I'm not a shellback.
You're not?
No,
You're a nasty wog.
I am a nasty log.
Why are we even letting him here?
I don't know.
Don't talk to us.
I know.
Yeah.
So for those of you
I'm
on
a
TV
blue
land who
nose,
don't know, when you cross the equator on a U.S. Navy ship, you transition from being a disgusting wog, polywog,
Mm-hmm.
subhuman scum, to an exalted shellback.
That's right.
And there's a ceremony involved.
Oh,
A very
yes.
weird
Oh,
hazing
yes.
ceremony.
Bones, why don't you tell us a little bit about what that ceremony entails?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there poop? Is that we're going back to poop?
No, we're going back to poop. It's,
Well, no, pooping does happen.
yeah. I think, I don't know if they still do it. I'm sure they should, but
Yeah, they do.
it's some hazing in it, not too much. But
It's
basically,
hysterical. the whole-
if you're a shellback, what a lot of guys do is dress up as like pirates. They'll cut off their shirts,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Well, and all the people who are not shellbacks, considered wogs, and that whole morning they have this whole ceremony with the Navy involved. And I remember, we would have guys in our berthing. We'd make them sit down, kind of like canoe style.
Yeah.
Sing row, row, row your boat. We'd have an elephant walk, so they would put, their hand between their legs and grab the other dude's hand.
I
And
got
we'd
you.
have them walk to chow. And the Navy's involved in it, so they would serve green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
And that's what the wogs would have to eat.
Mhm.
And then finally, when it was our turn, we'd go up to the flight deck or the hangar bay, whatever it was being held at, and they had like a whole shellback ceremony with King Triton there.
Yeah. And remember, you had to kiss the king's belly.
That's right.
And they'd get the fattest chief they could on the boat, and he'd put an olive in his belly button.
Nice.
Everybody did something. Me and this lieutenant, another lieutenant, there was a two-headed dog, Cebus, that was going to guard the King Neptune. Well, that was us. So
You were the two-headed dog?
we were the two-headed dog. We ginned up this costume. There's only one problem. I'm 5'8". He was like 6'3".
Oh, boy.
So it was an odd-looking dog.
Yeah.
But we avoided all that other bullshit because we were the king's dog. We just sat next to King Neptune and laughed all morning.
Yeah. Now, there's some people who are like, it's just all fun and games.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
it's
people who are
hysterical.
too serious and
Yeah.
don't want to get involved in it, but it's a good time. You get like a nice big certificate at the end,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you be a shellback, then you have a chance to be a golden shellback and all this other stuff, but
Golden shellback is what, twice across?
Yeah, twice.
Twice across.
Well, the funny part is we always laughed if the Russians are watching us, and they always are. So I'm on an LHA, big ship.
Yeah.
They hoist the pirate flag. They pull out the American flag, hoist the pirate flag. By the end of the ceremony, remember this, everybody's covered in like axle grease, and they take the slop from the chow hall for a week prior. They put it everywhere, and logs have to go through it. You're just destroyed. So everybody walks out to the fan tail, strips down all their clothes, and throws everything off
Nice.
overboard. So there's like a 10-mile stream of camis and navy blues floating in the ocean. And it's, these men walking around the flight deck naked with a pirate flag on. I'm like, CBS flies out at this. We're all in trouble.
it's just good times.
It is fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blast.
I
That
mean-
olive in the belly button.
That's what I wonder now, like, with,
Yeah, I wonder what happens
I
now.
wonder if they do to the extreme now, but it's a tradition,
Yeah.
and it's a big naval tradition too, so.
Oh, it's a huge navy trip.
I think it's kept around just because it's not just a Marine thing, the Navy's involved in it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a Navy thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they get super into it on ship. If it was like
Yeah.
a Marine tradition, I doubt it'd get that crazy. Because the Navy would just be like, "Hey, you're messing up the goddamn ship."
Yeah.
But a good time.
So that is a good time. How about, do you guys ever been on a ship long enough to have a beer day? If you go long enough
Yeah.
without a port, they'll break out
Yeah.
2 beers apiece for you.
Yeah.
Everybody gets tickets, and you like go get your beers. And
Steel
have a
Beach.
Steel Beach.
Beach party.
Get a couple
Yeah.
beers. Kind of a good time.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, the problem
It's
is
the closest thing you
Yeah.
can have to having a good time. But
the problem
they
is
usually-
getting there. You got to be on a ship for so goddamn long.
I forget how long.
I don't
it is.
know. I've never been on. I mean, I've been in ship multiple times, but I've never been on it long enough to have a beer. We've had Tiger beer or Old
Yeah.
Duels
Yeah.
during our Still Beach parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
And I think back to it now, and a lot of times I was just like, this is stupid. I don't want to do it. But thinking back to it, some of like my last MEU deployments, stuff like that, like it is what you make of it. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And the people put a lot of time and effort to have these Still Beach parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's usually people on board. First of all, there's talented people in the Marine Corps and the Navy. Like you'd be shocked. Like on every ship I've been on, there's been a full band.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of like
Just
a garage
appears
band.
at it somewhere.
Yeah, like people bring their instruments, and so you Steel Beach, they usually have a live band
Yep.
Yeah.
Or DJ.
or a DJ
Yeah.
or both. Depends on because their ships are big enough. You can have both, one at one end of the flight deck, one at the other.
Yeah.
But we always had like a live band, dudes who are on the ship who are like really good and playing music.
Yeah.
They usually open up the well deck.
Yeah. You can swim.
And you can jump off the freaking elevator
Yeah.
for like a good 25-foot drop
Yeah.
into the ocean,
Yeah.
and you're like out in the middle of the ocean. There's nothing
Yes.
in any direction. It's
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous,
Yeah.
like crazy, interesting, cool.
It's
Yeah.
all. You know what? It's. I was, scared shitless. Not for jumping off. Like it was. I thought that was cool as shit.
Yeah.
You know, you got to jump out from. Not the flight deck. That's a fucking big jump.
It's
I was,
100 foot
that's like
drop.
100
I was
feet,
on. I was on the Pellu, so I was on the big deck.
I was on a Pellu too.
And, yeah, and so we jumped off in the hangar.
baton in the NASA.
Hangar deck, and it's a good sized jump, but it's not the damn flight deck. But I remember jumping off, and we had you swim from the flight deck, ramp is in pretty much the middle of the ship,
Yeah.
and then you had to swim to the back, of the boat, and then swim on in.
It's a lot
You know?
longer than you.
Yeah.
That wasn't scary. What's scary is when you finally went underwater and you open your eyes and you see this massive fucking ship, the bottom of a ship underwater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
It's
you're
like an
swimming.
iceberg.
Yeah, and it's like you're not supposed to see these, in the water, and you open your eyes and there's this massive thing under there, and you're like, whoa, and talking about it doesn't sound fucking scary, but when you're down there, you're like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's overwhelming.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing happened to me when you go on Liberty and you stand on the dock. Every once in a while, a big ship will pull into the docks overseas. Like maybe it's an old thing. They may not even do it anymore. I don't know. But there's a few ports where they still pull into the docks. And when you walk up to that ship on the docks,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah.
This
You
is
look
the
up,
sheer
it's just
size.
like a-
Well, you go down
it's a
32nd Street
skyscraper.
Yeah.
in San Diego, wandering around, getting to your ship,
Yeah.
and you're looking at all these ships. When you're on it, the depth, you don't understand it. But when you're walking next to those stupid
Yeah.
things, it's bizarre. It's funny you say you were on the Pellu. I was on the Pellu when it was brand new, and they decided we were going to go to the Aleutian Islands.
You're showing your age right now. But okay, yeah.
Was that at World War II?
Yeah. They have wooden ship.
Remember? Sal was a galley slave for Rome. I don't want to hear shit about how old I am. But we, unbeknownst to us when we left, we're above, obviously, the Arctic Circle going to the Aleutian Islands. There's a storm in the wintertime every 48 hours. Every 48 hours, there's a massive storm. Well, what could go wrong with this? Well, let me tell you what went wrong with this. Should have known from history because they tried to land the Aleutians in World War II and the destroyer sank when they were doing it. They threw all the gear overboard. They couldn't get it onto the islands. They let the tide take the gear in. Then the ship eventually sank. Short story long, we're up there. We get hit with this massive storm trying to get out of there. Now, Peleliu is an LHA. Actually sits higher in the water than an aircraft carrier.
Wow.
We're taking 50-foot seas over the flight deck in the middle of this storm. Did over $1 million worth of damage. I'm downstairs getting something to eat. They come running down. Hey, the fossil's leaking. I don't know what a fossil is, and somebody will put a stopper in it. Don't worry about it. No, you need to get down there right now because it blew out a manhole cover size hatch inside of the ship. Now the ocean's pouring in, and the armory's right next door. So the armory is flooding. So all the Marines' weapons are salt water.
Yeah.
It was crazy. All this stuff broke. You know they have theme nights on the ship? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to have Mexican food night, Italian food night.
Yeah.
Well, it was Italian food night that night. And the tables fold down from the walls, like in a cafeteria, like when you're in 7th grade. We hit this wave so big, all the tables collapsed. Spaghetti and pizza everywhere. So I go down there later on, typical Marines, they got a fire hose in there trying to get the greasy food off the linoleum. It's not working. So every time the ship would rock, the kids would run back up and stand against the wall, and the ship would roll the other way, and they'd slide like skates. Whee! And catch themselves on the other side of the wall. Ship would roll, they'd turn themselves around. Whee! For all I know, that room never did get clean. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's great.
the forecastle. That's where they keep that's where the chains of the
Yeah,
anchor
chains for the anchor.
are all that.
Yeah.
You know.
They're usually decorated really cool.
Oh, it's really
Go up
nice,
there and
the
do
forecastle.
murals and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah, I could not. And you know, the beams inside the ship are exposed.
yeah.
So the beams running this way, up and down, are 2 foot wide, steel beam. The connecting ribs are 1 foot wide. And I'm in the forecastle looking at this, and it looked like a giant went through and just twisted every
Oh, wow.
beam all the way up the wall. And I'm like, shit, we are going to die. I mean, I could not
That's
believe it.
crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, you know, we'll make a good segue here because the beams in the ship makes me think of the doors and knee knockers, clocking your head on pipes. And anybody have any experiences where you got hurt while you're running around in the ship?
I was included in those to get them there. You know, those stairs, right? They're very, short and real close together.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you almost have to go from sideways a little bit. You know, and being a Marine on ship, you're taking your sea bags and all your shit when you first get on there.
Yeah.
So taking your stuff up there. But I remember coming down those stairs, and they're not regular stairs where you can just walk down. You literally come down sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And I was coming down and just to go to chow or something. I don't remember what it was, or go to the gym. Yeah, I was going to the gym because I had my just regular shoes on. And I get down to maybe like 4, steps before the bottom, and I slip, and I slip down, but I like kind of land like right on my tippy toes, right? But I jammed it hard, and I didn't. It hurt a little bit. I'm like, damn it, more of my pride. I'm looking around, like, nobody saw me, So I go to the gym, and as I'm going to the gym, I notice like my toes like now warm and mushy and wet, and I'm like, what the hell am I? Sometimes it's really humid, especially what part of the world you're in when you're running around the ship. And I get to the gym, and now I'm seeing my blood just come through my shoe. And I'm like, what the hell? So anyways, when I was going down those stairs, when I hit, I ripped my big toenail off and my other toenail next to it off. And I didn't realize it at first when I get to the gym. And now I take my shoe off, and here comes my big toenail came off, and I'm just bleeding. I'm just like, shit, this is great. Yeah, those things are horrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
Well, the gym in and of itself on a ship is fun because free weights.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I'm like, you're like, boop, 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 and the ship's rolling back on you now, and
Yeah.
you got like 2 1/4 on there, and you're like, I'm gonna die, and then the ship rolls back, boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna die again. And I'm like, I remember they'd secure the gym because of heavy seas. Being the genius we were, like, screw that. That's for homos. We're going to lift. And we'd get in there, we'd get the key from the master chief, we'd go down there, open the gym back up, and start lifting in heavy seas. How stupid is that? You're bored and work out. So you're lifting weights in heavy seas, free weights. Excellent plan.
You're right, because if you would time it right,
Yeah, you could bench press 500
yeah,
pounds.
you could just be like, yeah, buddy, and then you're like, okay, wait, let the ship go, because if you're going against a ship, now you're like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So dudes be like, yeah, sucker, boom, boom. Same thing, you're on the treadmill.
Yeah.
You ever run the treadmill? You're like, uphill?
You don't need those things that go up and down.
Downhill. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But so funny story is when you get to port, right? They let you off by like rank and things like that. You know, and it's weird, right? So in the military, a lot of times it's like, hey, your leadership eat last, right, if you will.
Yeah.
But when you get on Libo, it's the total opposite. So if you're the commoner, right, if you're just the youngest dude on the totem pole, you're getting off the ship last. And all your seniors, your officers, everybody are getting off first, right? They're going to go recon the area before you.
Yeah.
So you're waiting. So, we're on ship, and, and this, I think, was one of my last experiences being on ship. So I think I was a sergeant at the time, or staff sergeant. I don't remember, but... so now you got to, it was MARSOC, the MSOC platoon that was on the ship, and we're waiting to get off, and now you're telling a bunch of senior staff NCOs and gunnies, and that we have to wait, and so we're like, no, we're not going to wait. We're like, oh, well, how are we going to get off the ship? We can't just waltz off because you got to go to the quarterdeck and. Sign out. Then the guy's going to be like, well, wait a minute. What are you doing?
And sometimes you got to take a boat from the ship to shore.
Yeah. If you don't whether you're at Anchorage or whether you're.
And we were in Australia. I don't remember what part, Melbourne somewhere. But the guy had a great idea. When the ship pulls into port, all the work has to be done still, right? So all the trash has to be dumped off the ship. So he's like, dude, let's go down to the mess deck, grab a bag of trash each, and we'll walk it off the ship like nothing ever happened. Now, so they have down in the lower V, so the bottom part of the ship where all the vehicles are stored, that's where they would go to dump the trash.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go down, the hangar deck and where the guy you have to salute and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You just go in the side exit, and so each and every one of us, probably about 40, 45 dudes. Goes down to the mess deck, grabs a bag of trash with our bags, right, and civvies, and just follows the train of these, Navy guys, and we're like, see ya, dump the trash, and then we're out of here. Small victories, man.
Small victories, that's right.
Not a lot of sneaking off the ship stories, but everybody's got a story of people trying to get back on the ship after hours.
Yeah.
I remember dudes trying to climb up the ropes to try to get back on ship because they were late.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Anchor
remember-
chains. And the rat lines are on there because you get those things so the rats can't get on the ship.
So there's a huge metal cone that sits on over the
like you put on your dog.
That's supposed to be a big
cone of shame.
much bigger.
The cone of shame.
Yeah.
They look that small when you're looking at them, but they're,
they're
probably
huge.
6 feet across or more. You can't get past them. That's the point. That's usually what hangs people up is those cones. But I remember also these guys who decided they were going to steal a gondola
Oh my God.
in Italy, and a low-speed chase with the local police on the gondola.
It's like
This
OJ.
happened. This really
So
happened.
romantic.
But
There's a big old.
these dummies got caught.
Of course.
And the Italian police don't mess around, man.
No, the Carabinieri are not nice people.
They roll these guys up, throw them in jail. And, the freaking duty had to go out there and get them back. So that was one. Liberty is definitely the best part of being on a MEU.
Oh, absolutely.
The interesting thing about being on a MEU is, you're a force in readiness, right? So you spend a lot of time ready.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't do a lot.
Sure.
You float around, you hit a port. You float around, maybe you go do a show of force, like, hey, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some
little training
crazy
with
thing
the
happens.
locals and then disappear.
Most floats are pretty peaceful things, right?
Yeah.
That's why people like to go on floats, because you end up getting 5 or 6 Liberty ports where maybe you didn't get a chance to go. I got to see all of Europe that way.
Yeah.
And, of course, they do a safety brief before you go out on Liberty.
Of course.
And they got to
The
show you
obligates
where
are
all the
extensive.
bad parts of town are and all that.
Yeah.
Here's the red light district. Don't go there. So where do we go? That's like you might as well just gave me an intel brief.
Yeah.
So as a young Lance Corporal and Corporal, I just distinctly remember being like, "Yep, okay, got it. That's right. That's right." Boom. It's usually like you're getting drunk, possibly laid, and you're gonna eat for probably like $20, depending on what place you ended up at.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good night. But I remember this one time. I'm not gonna say any names because this guy's probably still around. There was this guy, total character. This guy goes out on Liberty, has a blast of a time, comes back to the ship with,
A female.
no, you wish, her leg.
Oh my God.
He had hooked up with this female, a lady who offered services for money, perhaps we might say.
Lady of the night.
Yeah, the lady of the night.
Very friendly.
And she had one leg, and he stole her prosthetic. He came back to the ship
Yes.
like a conquering Viking.
Oh my
with a-
goodness, man.
with a leg over his shoulder. And the duty who was a pilot at the time was like pretty cool about it. He was like, you got to take that back. I'm gonna make an exception. Like you're supposed to be back within the next 20 minutes, but
Yeah.
if it takes a little longer, we'll work it out. Take the leg back to the lady. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Take the leg back. So yeah, he went back and took the leg back and gave it back to her. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy and hilarious,
Why did he steal it?
Was-
What? Trophy? What are you doing?
Why we laugh
why
about
wouldn't
it?
you steal it?
Yeah. It's but you think about it, like, man, that is some messed up stuff.
That is.
That is like she is hopping around,
Angry as can be.
Like, and then can you imagine like the Hey, I'm here to give you your leg back. Like,
What an embarrassing experience for him, right?
Well, no, not at all. He would leave the leg on the door, ring the doorbell, and run away. Mama's son answers the door. Oh,
I would use a leg to knock on the door. And just leave it there.
If I was the duty officer, I would have went with him and made him apologize
Like, hey, did you
and filmed it.
film it or drink some beer out of it? You know?
yeah. Like a
Now
skull.
that we have it.
Yeah, I mean, let's do something
Right.
with this. God.
That is awesome.
Well, you know, that whole coming back on ship thing is touch and go anyway because of the time thing.
Oh my goodness.
And so, you know, the troops, it's midnight Liberty because the last night in port, we got to be back by midnight. So me and a couple of my idiot friends, of course, for one thing, you're in a foreign country. So nobody understands the money, especially when you're drunk. So we're trying to burn up all our monopoly money
Oh yeah.
in that
yeah,
country.
Yeah.
So we're just throwing, so the bill comes. And we're like, holy shit, how much is that? And then we end up with this big pile of money on the table, and is that enough? We don't know. And it's like, we got to be back in like 7 minutes. So we're running down the street, running dead sprint. And who has the duty that night? My buddy's company commander, who hates us. And we come running up drunk as lords. Luckily, we had a captain with us. We were all lieutenants. And the air boss. Of course, he's with us because air boss is always crazy. Guy standing at the top of the gangway. Nice going, assholes.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we made it literally like by a minute and 30 seconds. Wow. You fucking idiots are so lucky. I was waiting to burn you. And oh, by the way, everybody else is back, but you six. And I'm thinking, well, the troops are back. We're not. This isn't going to play well tomorrow morning. I skulked away. What, my company commander? I didn't give a shit.
Right.
That stupid clock. Yeah.
Cinderella Liberty.
Cinderella Liberty.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
It's hilarious when you've made it back, or you just get stopped and the taxi drops you off.
Yeah.
And it is like a sprint, to that
Because they won't let them go all the way down to the ship.
So you're just like that last quarter mile, just going crazy, like, oh my god, I'm turning into a pumpkin. I gotta go. Right? Then everyone's drunk as shit, and you come on, you got to do the whole, the way I say it's salute the flag and then the fag, it's the Navy thing, But obviously at night the flag is cased.
Yeah.
So dudes are still coming on and they're drunk for one in civilian clothes, right? So when you're in that situation, you just snap to attention, right? And then you say, but obviously in that scenario, the flag's not there, so you don't have to do it.
Right.
But so many dudes are holding up the line to get on ship.
Yeah.
You're like, hurry up, dude, hurry up! I got 4 minutes, and dudes just like saluted in cities, after colors has already went, and you're like, idiot, the flag's not there.
Go.
And the guy that's on duty is sober as Eddie because he's on duty and he's just having fun with it because guys are trying to get their buddies on ship and they have to say permission to come aboard, and they'll say permission granted, but it's like, dude, just let these damn people on,
Guys are throwing up, guys are falling down. New tattoos, everybody new tattoos, stand over there. Doc's got to inspect them. Oh yeah, the pandemonium never ends.
Yeah.
It's just good.
It is
But
a
it's
lot of
good
fun.
times.
To go off what you said, when you're, before, 9/11 and everything like that, guys were going around and doing like, humanitarian ops or dog and pony shows or going to corporate gold or whatever.
Corporate gold.
In different countries, and then that was it, and then, 9/11 happened and there were still MEUs going around and stuff like that. But, after a while, guys, at least for me, I would miss that being on a MEU because for a while it was like, hey, show up to the airport, get on a plane, go to Afghanistan or Iraq, get on a plane. Now that was good because you're home like this, and you come home, but you miss the opportunity to see the world.
Yeah.
One of those tags the recruiter gives you to travel. I remember that was one of mine, and you miss that because you just go from A to B and you're back.
Yeah.
To when you get on ship. Yes, it sucks at times, but you're going to hit all these Liberty ports, and you get to experience and have a lot of stories about it.
I cut that float in half, right? If you sleep 12 hours a day, the float's only 3 months long. Not 6 months, it's only 3 months. So you got to remember to do that. Sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Sleep till you're hungry, eat till you're tired.
Yeah, so after, now that I think back to it, and that's why a lot of dudes are like either on the one end of the spectrum or the other, I hate being on ship.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about, I'll never get to travel to these places in the world that I went to.
Yeah.
you know, if it wasn't for those MEUs, you know, it
Yeah.
was like, hey, buddy, grab your shit, get on a plane. You're gonna go over here in the sandbox that's even worse, and then you're gonna get on a plane and then come back home.
Yeah.
You know, and that was it. So you missed out on all those opportunities to travel with your buddies and make those experiences
Sure.
that you never would get to make. You know, just
Mhm.
being Joe Schmo, the dude. You know, in civilian world.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
a lot of dudes when they're on ship, it sucks, but taking advantage of that opportunity to make those memories with your buddy on Liberty,
Yeah.
which a lot of them you're not going to fucking remember, let's be honest. You know, or they're things you can't talk about unless you're around your buddies, but they're awesome memories that nobody can ever duplicate or replace.
No,
you know,
absolutely.
unless you're, you know, in the military.
And that's why we don't get along well at cocktail parties with civilians.
Right? Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So here, I salute all those men and women that are currently deployed,
That's right.
and I thank you for your service. And quite honestly, I envy you because you're having those good times.
Yeah, and I'm stuck here with these two.
Just talking about it.
Bones, thanks for coming,
Oh
buddy.
yeah, brother. Thanks for
Great
having me,
having
dude.
you, man.
Thanks, Bones.
Keith, awesome, dude.